This one comes in from Zach Berkeley. Again, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, you're going to have to change the way you pronounce your name because that's what I said. Zach says, "What's the hardest thing you've arranged or attempted to arrange?" So I'm not sure if this means in the arranging process, what did I struggle with most, or in the playing process, of which something that I arranged. Does that make sense? Um, but so they're kind of the same a lot of the time. So Dance Macabre by Saint-Saëns was hard because it's an orchestral piece that I'm arranging for four instruments, and they're all the same instrument. So like these lines that the flutes play, like can't really do that, or the violins, they're playing two notes at a time, and it's like, well, can't do that, so I have to use up two of my four instruments just to play your one line. So that's tough. Another one was the overture to La Forza del Destino, which I performed with a brass octet. That's trumpets, three trumpets, a French horn, three trombones, and a tuba. Yeah. And I did the whole overture to La Forza del Destino because I loved this gorgeous melody near the beginning. And we did it on my senior recital, and the recording is more or less good. There's a couple of rough spots, but for not paying seven of my musicians and the eighth being me, I'd say it came out pretty good. But that was hard because that was also a full thing, and also I was writing for things that I didn't play, and so I'm like asking them as I'm arranging, like, can you do this? And they're like, sure. And then like they get it and it's hard, or they get it and it's like way too easy. I don't know. So that was more out of my comfort zone, and it had those things that now just for all brass were really not good, like these like trill things that just tremolo stuff. That's just like string stuff that doesn't work for brass, but needed to be there because there's these like long things that's just like same note that they're just going, and it's like it sounded bad. So we figured out ways to make it sound good, but didn't sound like the original. And that's usually what I'm going for. So we had to make it our own, which was fine, but that was tough. The video game symphonies are like the most artistic thing I do as far as arranging goes, because I mean, getting the transitions from one to the next, that's all me. That's not something that's just like easy going through the motions, like listen to the pop song, write it out, the end. It's very much different, and I'm like navigating key changes and things and trying to keep things within the range of the trombone, or at least close. Um, so yeah, those were tough. Anytime I kind of go out on a limb and do something different than the original, which isn't necessary. I mean, a lot of my most popular stuff is the stuff that I take exactly the same as the original. But when I go out on a limb, it's a little bit harder. Some of the Christmas songs were like that, where all of this stuff that I heard and was trying to get influenced by, they were all boring to me, and I just had to start from scratch and start new. I think that kind of that's kind of another long-winded way to say, I don't know. They all have their difficulties, and some of them were harder than others. But yeah, so I guess that means the classical stuff. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot more invested in that music, and a lot more people will hear it in the long run. So I try to make them a little bit more artistically sound, rather than just a pop song that like it doesn't matter. So there you have it. Thank you. Oh, let me find it. Who asked this question? Zach Burkle. Oh, I bet it's Burkle. I bet it's Burkle. Burkle or Berkeley. Thanks for the question.